Hey, this is Stu Schaefer, and I'm about to explain why you gain weight in menopause, what causes that weight gain, and the 4 mistakes you're making. If you correct these mistakes, you won't gain any more weight, or you'll prevent it in the first place, or you can start losing weight. Okay, let's jump right in. Why the heck do you gain weight in menopause? You might be thinking, geez, I didn't change anything. I'm eating the same, I'm doing the same exercise, and now all of a sudden I'm gaining weight. Or you might say, geez, it's like so easy to gain weight all of a sudden if I cheat, if I splurge, but now it doesn't come off. Or you might be thinking, all the stuff I used to do to lose weight, it's not working anymore. It's like stuck. I'm just watching my body fat accumulate around my midsection. Help, what do I do? All right, let's talk about why that's happening first, and then I'll go over the mistakes. A lot of women think that the reason they're gaining weight is because of their hormones. The hormones are not the cause of the weight gain in menopause. The hormones are a symptom, just like the weight gain is a symptom of some of these other root causes and mistakes that you're making. So you've got to go to the root causes, not just the symptoms. So couple things shift when you go into menopause. It's worse for women as you get older than it is for men. I understand that, but let's talk about what happens. So number one, your adrenal glands take over your hormone production. Your ovaries shut down, and your adrenals have to take over. Now, if you're too stressed, if you've got other issues that we're going to be talking about, if something's off with the body and your adrenal glands are too busy producing your stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, these types of things, then they don't have enough capacity to produce the sex hormones, okay? Your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, pregnenolone. And that's why some women, when they hit menopause, wham, they go right into it because their adrenals are just so stressed they can't transition. While other women, they don't notice much of a difference. They don't have symptoms, they don't gain weight, they don't have hot flashes because they're not overtaxing their adrenals. So that's one reason how your body changes. So it's not necessarily the hormones that are causing the weight gain, as more of they're a result of this. Now, the other piece is your body gets more sensitive. Well, all of our bodies get more sensitive when we get older. Just think of a 20-year-old versus a 90-year-old. Everything in the 90-year-old's body is more sensitive. Well, somewhere along the way, you're going to hit some level of sensitivity where your body can't tolerate certain things anymore. Okay, let's look at the 20-year-old. They can go out, go partying at the bars all weekend, pull all-nighter, studying, and then their body can handle that. They're resilient, okay? And then they starve themselves to lose the weight. It's terrible. It's bad. Don't do that. I mean, that's bad. They're setting themselves up for failure later. A 90-year-old can never do that. Okay, well, somewhere between age 30 and 50, your body is going to hit a new tipping point where all the stuff you've been doing wrong, whether you are losing weight incorrectly, using the wrong methods, or eating poorly, or exercising wrong, or too much or too little, all of these things kind of reach a point, and then you layer on the shift over to your adrenal glands where now your body just doesn't have as much wiggle room or leeway to get away with those things. So yeah, it seems like you haven't changed anything and you're gaining weight. Well, maybe you were doing things incorrectly the whole time. You just didn't realize it. And now you can't get away with making those hidden or subtle mistakes. Now, the third piece is muscle. All right, you start losing muscle. And this comes from multiple reasons. Okay, one is getting older. 2 is maybe the hormones tank because your adrenal glands can't do their thing. 3 is maybe you've been a chronic dieter. Or 4 is you're not working out right. And so when your muscle goes down, that lowers your metabolism. That makes it harder to burn fat. It's bad for longevity. It just, a whole host of negative repercussions happen when you lose muscle. This is the difference when you hit menopause. But the good news is you can avoid all these things and even reverse them. My clients do it all the time. So let's talk about the 4 mistakes you're probably making that'll make these worse and what to do different to lose weight. Number 1 is the cortisol effect. The big mistake you're making is you're cranking up your cortisol so your adrenal glands are just shot. Now, how can this happen? This can happen in a variety of different ways. If you're not eating correctly, or you're not eating enough, or you're doing something like fasting or low carb or over exercising, or you have inflammation or gut issues, or you're just stressed and you don't know how to navigate your stress, all of these things will have what's called the cortisol effect. Your cortisol will go too high. This will actually prevent you from burning fat. It'll also cause gut issues because it redirects blood flow away from your organs, and now your digestive organs don't get enough blood flow to digest properly. This can lead to other things like thyroid issues and autoimmune and so on. And this is the culprit. You can't stress yourself anymore. You can't overexercise. You have to eat correctly. You can't do the starvation, the low calorie, the fasting, the low carb, because all of these diets are so stressful on the body that it was going to crank up your cortisol. Now your adrenal glands can't produce the other hormones, and this will send you into a cascade. Instead, what you need to do is actually lower the exercise. It's not that less is better, it's that you need the right amount. And everyone's different, but depending on how stressed you are right now, you might need to lower it really low for a little while, heal your body, and then gradually increase it to a nice sweet spot or stable point that's going to be burning fat, but also keeping your body in harmony. That's number 1. Let's look at the second mistake. The second mistake is you're, doing these fad diets or you're starving yourself. So many women have grown up thinking that they should just eat less calories and exercise more to lose weight. Well, that's what all these experts say, and they're dead wrong. That's the worst way to lose weight, because over time what happens is you eat less and less and your body adjusts to it, then you eat less and less. And now if your body is not getting enough nourishment, enough nutrients, that's going to stress it out. It's going to cause you to lose muscle. That's going to lower your metabolism. So all these pieces are working against you. If you do the fad diets, keto or fasting, if you're doing a 1 meal a day, lowering your calories way down, anything below like 1,500 calories, probably very too low. This is going to start shifting your body into a high stress state. The cortisol is going to go up. If it's up too high or it's elevated chronically, now you're going to have that same problem with your adrenal glands. Now your body's more sensitive. You're going to lose muscle. And now you're creating this perfect storm to completely wreck your own metabolism. You need to eat more. You need to eat a lot. You need to nourish your body. The key is, though, it has to be the right amount for you where you're starting. If you're down here, you can't go up here. You have to gradually start eating more so your body can adjust. You need to eat the right food at the right time in the right combination. Okay, I've done lessons on this before. You can check those out. They're great, but everyone's a little bit different. So there's not a one size fits all. And this is the key. If you had a medical emergency, you'd go to a doctor and you'd get an expert opinion. You'd hire an expert. Well, when people want to lose weight, they just go look for a YouTube video or a podcast or whatever it is, and they just don't treat it seriously enough. Then you do it wrong and you cause a health issue. And now you have to go to a doctor and get on a medication because you've developed an autoimmune or your hormones are all out of balance now. If you did it right the first time, you wouldn't have that problem. Let's look at the third mistake you're making, okay? Is the wrong exercise. This might be either the wrong type, the wrong amount, or the wrong intensity. These are the 3 pieces of exercise. You need to do the right type for your goals in your body. That might include resistance training and maybe less cardio. It might be more cardio and less resistance training. This will depend on your body fat percent. It'll depend on your stress levels, what's going on with your body, how old you are, what you've been doing, how much you're eating. All of this has to balance out and be in sync. Well, if you're doing too much exercise or too intense, that's just as bad as if you're not doing enough exercise or not intense enough. Remember, everything in your body has to be in a certain range. Your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your thyroid hormones, all your other hormones. If they're too high, that's bad. If they're too low, that's bad. You want them in the right range, and that's the same with exercise and with food. You need them in the right range to create that environment in your body where it can lose weight, it can heal itself, it can balance itself, it can produce its hormones how it's supposed to, and it can really regulate itself. That's going to give you the best health. It's also going to allow you to burn off body fat without wrecking your body. And now that you're in menopause, your body is more sensitive, so you've got to do it right. You don't have the wiggle room or the leeway to make these mistakes anymore. I'm sorry, but that's just part of it. Okay, let's look at the last mistake, number 4 here, and that is inflammation. If you've got inflammation in your body, now this can happen in numerous ways. You might be eating foods that you're unaware of that are causing sensitivities. Okay, I did a whole lesson about the foods you got to avoid. You might have a gut issue that you don't realize, or you do realize, but you're not able to fix it, and you're not eating correctly for that. You might have an autoimmune now that's developed, and you've got to get the antibodies and inflammation down. Maybe you're overstressed through too much exercise or something else, and you've got inflammation in the body. Well, are you bloated? Do you have gas? Do you feel inflamed? Are your joints tight? Do you have acid reflux, problems sleeping, brain fog? All of these often will correspond with inflammation, and the inflammation cranks up your cortisol and keeps it up very high. Now your adrenal glands are constantly producing the stress hormones instead of the sex hormones. Inflammation will short circuit the fat burning process. And this is why you might say, geez, nothing changed, or I'm doing these diets and nothing's working. You might be so inflamed that your body is stuck. It's in this lockdown mode and it's not going to burn any fat. Well, not only is this bad for fat loss, but if you keep that inflammation up too long, if you don't fix it, that's going to create or lead to a chronic disease or an autoimmune disease. You've got to get that inflammation down, and you've got to get it down fast. Now, if you're inflamed, the other thing is now your capacity to do exercise goes way down because the inflammation is causing this chronically elevated level of stress. So now you can't exercise as much, or you can't do it as intense. You fix the inflammation, then you have more bandwidth to do more or different types of activity and exercise. The food's got to match. Really, everything has to work together. Your body is complex. It's like a rainforest, and everything has to match up and be in sync. This is the key, and this is what so many women miss, is they're trying to do a diet, or they're paying attention to their blood sugar or carbs or one thing. Your body's too complex for that. You need to do everything holistically, and you need to do it right, and it has to work for your body. And everyone's a little bit different. And this is why people will jump from plan to plan to plan, program to program to program, and they're always just missing something. The truth is you need something that's going to be custom designed for you, plain and simple. Anyway, I'm going to splash up 2 videos to give you a lot of more in-depth information. Go check out those videos, those lessons. I'll see you over there, and we can beat this. Let's get rid of the weight gain in menopause. You can lose weight in menopause, and I'm here helping you. I'll see you on those videos. Take care.